I thought doing a top 10 for MMPR Season 1 was hard, but Season 2 has a lot of big changes on how the show does things. Lord Zed is the new baddie, creates monsters from random objects like lipstick, a purse, a vase, statues, you name it. The style of the show is very different compared to what Rita did. We have a lot more stranger monsters to pick from. So here's my top 10 favorite Season 2 monsters.
Sally Water.
I found Sally very funny. The way he went after Bulk and Skull when they were trying to take care of it was the best part. They kind of deserve it. Dumping all the food on him, that would annoy me. It involved Bulk and Skull more into the actual story. Season 1 and Bulk and Skull was fine, don't get me wrong. But Season 2 Bulk and Skull trying to find out who the Power Rangers were really started making them have a purpose here. Being bullies all the time did get old. His tongue power was crappy, old shows never got the whole Vine/tongue stuff believable. The splicing between Ju2 footage and Die Ranger footage sucked, but the monster was still a cool enemy.
Turbine Shell.
The only reason why I like this monster is because of the episode's story. First, we have Lord Zed spying on Kim when she found that shell at the lake. I always found this aspect of Rita and Zed really creepy. Do they spy on the Rangers 24/7 everywhere they go? We have Tommy hiding in a crate of watermelons. That visual image to me was just funny. Then, Tommy has this huge gun, goes inside Turbine Shell to blow him up from the inside. You gotta give Japan something for coming up with this episode.
Scatterbrain.
Scatterbrain erased Billy, Kim, and Tommy's memories, so it gave Adam, Aisha, and Rocky roles of mentors, in a sense recruiting new Rangers. This monster's ability is really powerful. I always thought this would have been a great two-parter or a season finale monster, but the best moment was when Bulk and Skull finally found out who the Rangers were. I always thought it was wrong for so many years Bulk and Skull never figured it out, or that the team didn't just tell them. I thought it would have made the characters evolve for the better. They wouldn't be always the goofy and weird, they would have to have been more serious, but it would have been interesting. They were just robbed when their memories were wiped. I know they found out in space, it was just too long of a wait. I still want to know how they figured out Tommy and Forever Red though.
Bucola.
I think this was the weirdest episode MMPR ever did. Coming up with the story of this monster being an alien was an interesting take in dealing with the kabuki aspect of the Japanese footage. I guess Bucola gets in my number 7 because of the innocent way he was played. You wanted him to get back home, he was being hunted by Weldo, then the Rangers had to fight an evil clone doll. I just fall for very odd episodes of shows. I also think this is a perfect example in dealing with harder to use footage from Sentai.
Welcome here.
Out of all the time travel episodes Power Rangers has done, this one is fine. Usually PR has serious problems with time travel. They either screw things up or ignore basic time travel issues. This one still has problems, like you're telling me everyone has been in the same school since they were kids, including teachers, and the fact that Tommy is there when he shouldn't be. But I did like this monster. Could capture anyone in photos, even make copies of stuff. She could have been really powerful if she just copied herself, then each copy would make Thunder Megazord copies.
Turkey Jerk.
I like Turkey Jerk just because the storybook Ranger episodes were just that stupid, you just love it. On top of the redressed Primitor costume, this episode was just so random. It was played serious with the characters, but everything about it was just over the top. Turkey Jerk coming from Bulk and Skull, I thought those two could be new Finsters if they decided to become bad guys. Too bad this episode didn't air during Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Beancasting.
Another monster that I'm surprised was used in PR, not just because he's very Japanese looking, but all the times he uses bombs. Tommy throwing the bomb back at Beancaster is a rarity too. I also like this one because Adam and the others were actually used. It was nice that the show set up the characters early on, used them when they had no abilities, so they and us could get a taste in what they have to deal with as Power Rangers. But I always thought that this episode did kind of rip off the MMPR movies plot. Beamcaster has the ability to brainwash people, similar to the ending of the film. But since this was a good use of characters, made him a part of my list.
Wizard of Deception.
Wizard was a good monster. Weird saying that since he doesn't do much, especially in a 3-parter. The episode did feel like Island of Illusion, just with time travel added in, and it was a cool idea to clone Tommy, so we could see the Green Ranger evil again. At the time, this was fine for me. We weren't flooded with Tommy just yet. The time travel part really bugged me though. The issue was, what happens with the clone Tommy? Does he get married, have kids, and become his own grandfather?
Primitor.
I always like this monster's look. It's simplistic but still cool. It just sucks that he never got to break into the command center. He can copy the power coins. What makes this one really good, Alpha was used in it. We got to see the characters act insane as Premator copied them. I was always bugged that out of nowhere they have a mirror under the console. We know it's Billy's. I guess the console shorts out a lot, so he needs to check his hair.
Pachinko Head.
And my number one is Pachinko Head. This is my favorite MMPR episode period, and the best Rocky episode. It did have a nice message in the episode with things distracting you from schoolwork. It just sucks that Rocky barely got anything to do in 2 series. Seeing him run around in a suit and everyone going what the freak at him was the best part. With all the gift jokes based on that scene, I'm surprised no one made a Konami joke when Rocky is playing the machine in the juice bar. That's it for my favorite monsters. It was really hard to pick. When Season 2 started using Die Ranger footage, I remember when I was young, I didn't really like it at first. Even when I didn't know about Sentai, the show did obviously change. I'm not saying Season 2 was horrible, but it was not perfect. Zed's monsters did eventually grow on me. I'd like to hear your favorite monsters. Leave a comment below. Next episode is going to be my top 10 worst Season 2 monsters.